most over the course of the time here at Summer League? Does anyone stand out?
I'm not going to single this one guy out. I think everybody has kind of taken one or two aspects of their game and like really kind of attacked them head on, both on the court and film and the games and practice. I feel like everybody's gotten better at something.
And I know for you, this is a change. You're in the head coach's seat, but for other members of the coaching staff, like what other kinds of responsibilities were assumed that are different than usual? Like I know Nana and was doing the challenges. Like what other things like that?
Yeah, so Nana and Sham have whoever's behind the bench with the computer is kind of our go-to guy for the challenges in the game. But then each of them also had defensive scouts for Summer League, and they were active participants in our regular season scouting workflow, but they've been doing on-court walkthroughs and stuff, which is something they did not have a whole lot of reps at during the regular season. And I remember doing that when I first got scouts at Summer League. And so everybody kind of gets a little bit of added or different responsibilities that they normally would have when we're at full strength as a staff.
And the coaches that sit baseline, like Tony and DJ, like ones that have coached Summer League, Are they more like they're kind of letting you guys figure it all out? Like how does that work?
Yeah, so they're in meetings, but they're much more of an advisory role where they, like you said, they both had the head coaching job the last 2 summers, but at the same time, anything we're trying to implement with this group or thinking about something we may take from this summer and apply to the fall, it's always good to have their ear and just kind of bounce ideas off of them, and they communicate what they see out there, and they've been very helpful to me and to the whole staff.
Sort of along those lines, you don't have to get into specifics, but has there been any part of Summer League that you've been using to practice stuff for the upcoming season? Like, have you talked to Joe about that? Is that something that has been on your mind at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I'd say on both sides of the floor, there's a couple things we're at least taking a cursory look at, but the style of play and the rules are such a different, it's a different game to a degree, with different fouls and the shorter game, and each team having 10 per quarter. Like, so there's so many differences there that we feel compelled to play to those rules while we're in that game that don't quite translate to the NBA schedule.
Do you try to game the system when it changes like that?
A little bit.
You have 10 fouls. So
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what sort of things are you looking at? You're like, okay, so this is different, like you can try to gamify it.
Yeah, so the bonus, the bonus is still the second foul in the last 2 minutes. So our guys have been more aggressive until we get to the last 2 minutes of each quarter. So like, if we've done a good job of staying out of foul trouble, our guys have been very aggressive going for steals, under 4, under 3, up until that 2 minutes.
There are a lot.
In general, you guys have been pressing a lot. It's happening a lot around Summer League, especially compared to years past. Do you feel like that's a trend that's going to carry forward into the preseason start of the regular season?
I do think a lot of the backcourt pressure has been was still there in prior Summer Leagues as well. Obviously, some successful NBA playoff teams did that the last couple of years, so for this last season. So obviously there's going to be extra attention on that. So yeah, you want to at least take a look at it, but what does that mean for the energy that your players have? Do you play more guys? Who do you have pick up in the backcourt? Like over the course of the last couple of years, Jalen would apply some backcourt pressure when it was opponent specific or matchup specific, things like that. But yeah, it's kind of an evolving thing that I think every team has tried it in the last handful of summer leagues, but how it gets applied to the NBA season is still kind of up for discussion.
Baylor struggled with his shot a little bit during Summer League. He seems like he hasn't been overly concerned about it, but there's a big track record of guys like struggling in Summer League, having a great year, or the reverse, like being great at Summer League and not being great in the NBA. Do you tell guys like not to overvalue their own individual performance or shot making because it doesn't necessarily always translate, or is it like they just kind of figure it out? Like how active are you in having like those conversations?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as a 4 or 5 game sample in December, January, February. Like it's obviously Baylor's got a larger role here than he had during the regular season, but any player with a smaller sample shooting slump over a 4 or 5 game stretch, it's really nothing to get too concerned about at all.